Doodle Bible School. Doodle the Bible in a school-like setting. And thanks for being here. Man, I'm grateful. I really appreciate it. All right, here's what we do. Basic Bible, great for homeschooling, all that kind of stuff. But we're dealing with Jonah's journey. There he is. I call him the Marshmallow Man. He kind of looks like a big old marshmallow, doesn't he? Jonah's journey. Way to go, Gabriel. He drew that for me. Way to go, Gabriel. Jonah's journey. That's what we're dealing with. I appreciate you for being here, and I'm looking forward to our time together. Let's just jump right in. Kind of a pun on the Marshmallow Man, because remember he had to be thrown into. Yeah, that was okay. Here we go. All right, segment number one. We always watch it right here. We do the doodle. That's where we take time to doodle. So get out your doodle-later and your doodle-tea. Be ready to draw. Just you and me. I made that rhyme up just as it came out of my face. All right, here we go. Jonah's journey. There's the Marshmallow Man. Doing. Okay, here we go. This was last time in chapter 1. And remember, Jonah runs away from God. In Jonah chapter 2, Jonah is going to run to God. All right. If you want to make a 2 or square anything off, funny letters, even like Jonah's journey or something like that, I'll show you how to do that. It's not really very hard. Just go ahead and mark it like this, all right? But then draw outside the line like this, kind of like you're boxing it in, all right? And then you take out the middle. Look what we got. Are you as excited as I am? Now what you got to do over here is just kind of give it a, and you take out that middle. That's how you do the 2. Now I'm not pleased because my 2's too big. So I'm going to take that off and I'm going to do it again because we didn't leave any place here for God. And we always need to leave place for God. Let me see if I can do it again. All right. We box that like that. Take out the middle. Make the arrow. Take out the middle. And then we can put God over here, right? That's the symbol that Gabriel has for God. All right. Now the Marshmallow Man, he's a little bit more difficult. I'm just not really good at him. But anyhow, he's got his head here, and he's got an arm over here, and he's got his body comes down like this. He's running, and then he's got this leg kind of comes back like this, and that's really horrible. And then he's got an arm that comes out like this. That's terrible. Oh dear, but anyhow, you get the point. Jonah is going to run to God. Okay, so you got the 2? All right, very good. All right, Jonah runs to God. I'll put this right up here so you can appreciate my fine, handy-dandy work. I hope you did better than I did. That's pretty terrible. All right, so Jonah chapter 1, Jonah runs away from God. That's where he gets on the ship at Joppa, remember? And then the big storm. They don't know what to do. They throw him overboard. Big fish swallows him. Storm goes away. Okay. Well, in chapter 2, Jonah's in the belly of the big fish, and he's kind of writing a prayer to God. Later, he'll write it down, I guess. But anyhow, you got this. It's kind of a poetic prayer that he's saying to God, I guess, while he's in the belly of the big fish. But he's going to be running to God in the entire chapter. All right, here we go. So, in segment number 1, I would ask you, and by way of preparing for your final test, what's the theme for Jonah chapter 2? Sorry about the silly dude. He really looks horrible, but I did my best. Jonah is running back to God this time. That kind of looks like a heart on the side, isn't it? God is love. Huh, that would work. But anyhow, that's really a cloud, but it could be a heart if you wanted to. All right, so there, can you doodle the picture? I think you can. I mean, it's right there. You surely can do better than that. Look, his head. It's not even connected to his body. It's like floating out there in space or something. All right, can you give me the theme? Can you doodle the picture? I think you can. All right, that's segment number 1. Let's be silly. Love the llama guy. See, there's a time to laugh. God even said there's a time to laugh. When he made the llama, he was giggling. I just feel like that. on whatever day he made the llama. What would be that 6th day? And he makes the llama. He says, I'm going to make something silly here. And so he makes the llama. Oh, dear. We're going to have to say goodbye to Noah as he's running to God because he's blocking my thing. All right. What do you call a rabbit with fleas? That would be an unfortunate situation. Cindy and I have had rabbits in the past because the boys wanted them, and it didn't work out all that well. Rabbits tend to have rabbits, and then you got more rabbits after that, and it's a lot of rabbits. But anyhow, what do you if your rabbit has fleas? What do you call him? A rabbit with fleas is naturally called Bugs Bunny because he's got bugs. The fleas are the bugs, and he's a bunny, Bugs Bunny. You can remember that one. Take that one with you because people will giggle when you say that one. You know what I'm saying? Write that one down. Old llama buddy. Good to see you. See you later. All right. Segment number 2. In the second segment, we make a memory. Stick it right there in the old gourd and say, don't go away. We're going to stick it right in there. Memory time. Okay, so this is your memory verse. Now, what we do is we take old Jonah. Here he comes. Boing, 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 boing. Marshmallow man. All you have to do is say each line 5 times. Now, I'm making up for last week. Do you remember last time? The last lesson was kind of the memory verse. It was long, wasn't it? I mean, it stretched all the way to the bottom. I'm so sorry. But this one is just a shorty. And so I'm making up. Look, you got 4 lines. All you got to do is say it 5 times. Then Jonah prayed. 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 See there? I think you know the first line already. Then Jonah prayed. All you got to do is say it 5 times. All right, and if that doesn't work, what you can do is you can leave blanks here. Okay? Then Jonah, I'm pretty sure, there's some Marshmallow Man. Okay? I really like him. Then Jonah did what? I think you know the answer because you're like, we've already sang it in a little ditty. Then Jonah prayed. Remember that one, Jen? Then Jonah prayed. Just sing it. And then look at there. That is another way to memorize, by the way. If you can sing it, especially if it's a shorty like this, just kind of come up. It doesn't even have to be a song or nothing. Just be silly with it. And if it sticks in your head, that's the point. We just want it to stick in your head. You know, a lot of passages of Scripture actually have been made into songs, you know. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. That's a passage right out of the Bible. The book of Psalms, actually, the whole thing is like a book of songs. So it's a good way. If you just put it to a silly little if you put it to a silly little ditty, it will stick within your witty mind. I'm really poetic today, aren't I? All right, that's enough of that. All right, so if we're going to test over the second segment, we would ask these questions. Where was Jonah when he prayed to God? Where was he when he prayed to God? And can you quote the memory verse? Where was Jonah when he prayed to God? And can you quote the memory verse? All right, let's be silly. I love this girl and her banana. Yes, I am talking about a banana, she says. What do frogs order at a restaurant? If you were to take a bullfrog out for supper, what do you think the bullfrog would want to order for supper? What do frogs order when you go out? They order French flies and Coca-Cola. That's hard to say. French flies, because they're frogs, and Coca-Cola, because croaking is the name and the sound that frogs make. That's a little bit hard. You might have to write that one down twice in order to remember that one. But it's actually pretty funny. She thinks it's funny. She's talking on a banana. Oh, dear. Now, into segment 3. We're going to ponder a passage. We sit by the pond and we ponder it saying, As we think about this passage, we ponderate it and we say to ourselves, okay, in ponderation time, let us begin to think about it. Now, this is what this is what I was telling you about. It's written, you can see how the indentations and all that's kind of written like a poem. Now, I didn't get the whole chapter up here. I got most of it, but I ran out of space. But when you start in verse 1, it just says, I called out to the Lord out of my distress, and he answered me. And notice that it's going to say, out of the belly of Sheol. That's actually the best answer to your first question. Where was Jonah when he cried out to the Lord? He says, I'm in the belly of Sheol. Sheol is a Hebrew word that kind of indicates the place of the dead. And so he is thinking to himself, I'm a dead man. I'm calling out in the belly of this fish a dead man as I call out to God. Sheol. So it's kind of a weird word, but that's a Hebrew word. And so he said, he called out, for you've cast me into the deep. Then I said, I am driven away from your sight, yet I shall look again upon your holy deep. The waters closed in over me to take my life. The deep surrounded me. And so as he's in the belly of the fish and he's going down, I don't know how he breathed in there. I don't know. Was it a whale? Was it a bigger fish than that? This was a long time. I don't know. But evidently there was enough of an air pocket, or just a miracle by God, that he was able to survive in the belly of this fish. And by the way, they actually have a historical account of a guy who did get swallowed by a whale, and he survived. Anyhow, but the waters closed in over me, and he thinks I'm going down. I'm a dead man. Okay, and it says weeds were wrapped around my head, or about my head. That's going to be another question. What did he have wrapped about his head? Weeds. That's kind of gross, isn't it? And then my life was fainting away. When my life was fainting away, I remember the Lord. So when did he finally come to himself? I need to pray. When he felt like he's about to die. His life was fainting away. He was just like, I don't know if I can go any further. I'm about to die here in the belly of this fish. I'm going to remember God. I'm going to talk to God. And it says that my prayer came to you in your holy temple. And it says, verse 10, here's the results. And the Lord spoke to the fish, and it vomited Jonah out upon the dry land. How did the fish know to vomit Jonah out? God told him. All right, you done your job. It's not the first time that God's talked to an animal in the scriptures, by the way. But anyhow, it gives the fish command, all right, take him, put him on dry land. And then that's the second question, or the last question, I should say. And where did he end up? On dry land. So I don't know how the fish just, anyhow, that doesn't sound very good. But our marshmallow man, he'd been in the belly of the fish long enough. And how long, by the way? That was in our last one, remember? 3 days, 3 nights, that's right. But anyhow, and so he's going to be vomited out onto the land, and that's where he's going to begin his journey in chapter 3. But chapter 2 is all about, where's my thing? Chapter 2 is all about the marshmallow man coming to God. Jonah decides he's going to run back to God. Whew! Got it? Good. So if I were going to question you, present questions for your final test, here's what they would be. Where did Jonah say he cried out? From where did Jonah say he cried out? That's that Sheol. Okay. And then the last one, onto what did the fish vomit Jonah? Dry land. So you got it. In fact, I'm not so sure. Your first question and your second question may be the same answer. I don't remember. No, I think the first question is taken from your memory verse. That's what it is. I don't remember what it is, but anyhow, look it up. All right, this guy says you got it, so I think you got it. If you don't know, just look it up and give me the answer that's there. Because God knows better than Sonny Childs. Give me his answer, and that will be the best answer. All right, let's be silly again. Where does a rat go when he has a toothache? Frankly, I don't care. I do not like rats, and I don't want a rat around me. But let's just say for a moment that we got a rat buddy, and our rat buddy has got a toothache. Where does the rat go if he's got a toothache? Well, clearly he goes to the rodentist. Rodentist. And here he is. And if that guy's got a toothache, he got some major teeth happening here. You know what I'm saying? He got a toothache in one of those. It could be a big deal. Sounds to me like you need to lay off the cheese there, buddy. Where does a rat go when he has a toothache? He goes to the rodentist. All right, segment number cuatro. That would be 4 in the Spanish language. Oh, I love the doing. Why? Not a why. Apply the why. See, that kind of rhymes too. See what I'm saying? Apply why. See, they rhyme. Apply the why. That's when we ask ourselves, Jonah chapter 2, who cares? Why do I need to know this? I'm fixing to tell you. There's a couple of reasons, actually several. But here's the one thing I came up with. You can apply it you can apply it by all kinds of things. You know, the idea we need to pray, we need to repent, all of those kind of things. But this is one of the things that kind of stuck to me. Weeds were wrapped around, stuck to me. Get it stuck to my head. Anyhow, weeds were wrapped about my head. Did you ever go swimming in a lake or a pond and have weeds wrap around your feet? Ooh, I have. It's kind of slimy and gross, and you don't know if it's a fish chewing on your toe or what it is. It's kind of gross. I don't like it. But how would it feel if you're stuck inside a fish and you got all those slimy weeds and they're actually wrapped around your face and your head and it's all over? Ah! Can you imagine being in the belly of a fish for 3 days? I mean, I'd be praying too. You know what I'm saying? Oh, dear. And the thing about Jonah, and you're going to see this when we get to later, you're going to see he doesn't get the message. He doesn't change his attitude like he should have. He should have been, after this fish thing, he should have been totally submissive to God. But he begins, you'll see, it's not good. All right, so you got weeds wrapped about his head. Just kind of think about it. Take some lettuce. Here's what you can do. Ask Mom if you can have a couple pieces of lettuce. And take them to the sink, get them all wet, and then slap them on your forehead. And I want you to walk around that way for 3 days. Just to experience what, oh dear, parents are going to be writing in and saying, Sonny, what in the world? My child has had lettuce on her head for 3 days. Oh, no. Anyhow, that would give you the experience, you know, having it all over. That'd be terrible. Jonah, what a story. All right, here's your question that I need you to write a little tiny short paragraph. Don't make a big old thing. Watch this right here. Watch, he's going to say it right there. Just a short answer is fine. You don't need to write a book or nothing. How would it feel to be stuck inside a fish with slimy weeds wrapped around your head? So there's 2 parts to this one. Number 1, what would it feel like to be stuck inside a fish? Just go with that one. I mean, you know, you're up inside there, probably cramped quarters, you know, and you're feeling the inside of the stomach of the fish. What else is in there? I bet it smells real good in there, too. What would it be like to be inside a fish for 3 days? And then the last one, how about having seaweed all around your head, etc.? I mean, what would that feel like? This ought to be a good one. I think that you're going to write this one out and you're going to say, that's a pretty interesting thing there, Sonny Chels. Anyhow, that's segment number 4, and that's what we did right there. Let's be silly again. Love this guy. He's fully in thought. You can tell with the finger thing, you know. He doesn't know what in the world. Here's what he's dealing with. What do you call it when one hammock makes fun of another hammock? You know what a hammock is? A hammock's that thing you tie between 2 trees, you know, and like a bed that's in the air. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, good. Well, what do you call it if one hammock is making fun of another hammock? You ever think about that? What do you call it? Well, you call it hammockery. Hammockery. To make fun of somebody else is called mockery. But these are hammocks. So if you combine it, it's hammockery. He's still got his finger there because he still doesn't. He's saying, Sonny, that don't make sense. All right, segment number 5. In segment number 5, we're going to take time to test. And our little lady friend, she says, oh, joy. Oh, you can tell she loves the testing part. Here we go. Are you ready? All right. In Jonah chapter 2, we have got these 10 questions that I place before you in a solemn request for you to take time to think about them and put your answers down upon a piece of paper in a proper way. I think I've gone Italian. All right. What is the theme of Jonah 2? Can you do it to the picture? I think you can. Come on down here. How would it feel to be stuck inside a fish? We just did that one. All right. I think you guys got it. Somebody take a screenshot of that. While you do, let me get me some old H2O water. I choked myself. You ever do that? It goes down the wrong pipe. I wonder if Jonah had that. I bet he did. I bet he did. That would be terrible. Inside a fish, smells great, seaweed wrapped around your head, and he gets choked. Oh my. Anyhow, did you guys get it? There's your 10 questions. Here, I'll smile big so you can make sure you get me included in your screenshot. Let me give it. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Got it? Good deal. All right, well, I don't know what to say except I love you. Proud of you. Be there. Matthew 16:26.